Hello all, this is a new deck video I'm doing with my mate Zach here.
Hi there.
Yeah. And this is a Changeling deck he's made. For you who may not know this is from My Little Pony. So you bronies out there should find this quite interesting.
Yep.
Alright Zach, I'll leave the rest to you now.
Okay, well to start off I'm going to show off my monsters. The first three are the Changeling drones. This card's effect is once per turn you can select a level 5 or lower monster, and its name, effect, attack, defense, and level, I think, will become that of the target, except for its type. The type will stay the same.
Alright.
You can only do this once per turn, and when you do, it can't change back, so it's got a limited use there.
Right, so it seems like one of the main cards.
Yep, and the next set is a buffed up version called the Changeling Soldier. You can for this one, it's the same effect, but it's for level 7s and lower.
Cool.
It's got a different effect on it, and as you can see, it's got some nice armor on there. Very fancy. I only have one of this in the deck, Changeling Giant. This one has the same effect as the Cyber End Dragon. When you attack a defense position monster, it does piercing damage, and if you have Changeling Queen Chrysalis out on the field while this is in your hand, you can special summon it.
Cool.
As you can see, it's very veiny.
Yeah, that might scare a few kids.
Yep.
My Little Pony, ah!
It was very scary when Changeling Queen Chrysalis came out the first time.
Mm.
And speaking of Queen Chrysalis, here is her baby form.
Aww.
Very adorable. Her effect is when you that she gains 1,000 attack with every changing monster on the field, including her. So right off the bat, she gets 1,000. And if you have any other changing monsters on the field, and this card is targeted for an attack, you can redirect it to another one.
Wow, that's quite nasty, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite
Especially
nasty.
if you pass it over to that giant.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a bit nasty.
However, if you have 5 cards on the field, redirecting to that, it's just bringing it to a lower attack monster.
Yeah. Once it's got the 5 changelings, then it is a bit of a
Yeah.
powerhouse.
And once you discard that from the field and you have one of these cards in your hand, you can special summon it. This effect is just like the drones, only instead of copying the attack and defense and all that, you only get the effect. You don't change your effect, but you can use the card's effect. And the targeted monster, when you target that monster, all monsters on your opponent's side of the field with the same attribute as that targeted monster will give this card 500 attack.
Cool.
So,
sorry for the shaky, I'm just trying to get it to focus again.
That's fine. I'm sure the viewers don't mind.
I must admit the artwork's not bad at all for it.
Yep, I just went on Google Images.
Ah, there we go, great focus now.
You'll be surprised what you can find on Google.
That's true. Well, you get some of your images from Tumblr as well, don't you?
I only went on Google Images for this one.
Oh, fair enough.
If I wanted to get some images from Tumblr, I would know. I have them saved. So that's all the monsters except for this one called Changeling Army.
And this is the powerhouse, is it?
Yeah, this is the ace in the hole. You need to banish 2 of the XYZ cards that are in this deck in order to special summon this. And they have to be on the field in order for that to be a thing. And this card can attack twice during the battle phase, and when you destroy one monster, it destroys all monsters on the field. So you can if you can deal 10,000 damage right off the bat.
That's nasty. So it's a high cost to summon.
It's a high cost.
And it's not easy to summon, but if you do, it's worth it.
It's way worth it, but you might want to be careful. It can't negate any spells or traps, so you need a way to protect it once it comes out.
So you run extra support like Raw Decree, Trap Stuns, stuff like that. The regular
Anti-spell fragrance.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Alright.
And the cards that you need to banish are these 2 right here.
Right,
these two have very similar effects. This one requires 2 changeling monsters that are level 4 in order to bring it out, and this one requires level 6. So, in order to get this one out, you need 2 of these. And
I'll show those again.
Oh, you need to get 2 of the changeling drones out on here.
Right, so the 2 drones for that, and then for
this one you need 2 changeling soldiers.
This
one's harder to get out because if you don't have a certain card, you need a tribute in order to get them, and that means you can't get this one out.
Alright.
So, these are pretty high cost as well. When you detach one XYZ material from this one, all monsters on your opponent's side of the field have their attack halved, and this one can attack twice during the battle phase.
Cool.
And this one has a similar effect, only when you discard one, all monsters on your opponent's side of the field lose 0 attack. Oh no, don't lose 0 attack, their attack becomes 0. Pardon my French.
So this one's the more powerful one out of the 2, for the fact it does 2, was it, or 3? Or all of them?
It does it on all of them.
Yeah.
If you detach just one.
Well, that's very nasty. That would bugger up a lot of monsters.
Yep, it buggers everyone up because because if you have both of these out and you decide to use that effect, you can just banish those two and then
straight
bring that
after.
right out. And then bam, 10,000 damage right there.
Yep. All right.
It is a very powerful combination.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Well, shall we go see the spells then?
Yep, the spells.
All right. What
Okay.
you got first?
This first card is called Changeling Hive.
I'll just try and get some focus on it.
Okay.
There we go.
When this is on the field, changeling monsters can be summoned without tribute, and they gain 500 attack and defense while it's on the field. Also, while Chrysalis is on the field, it cannot be destroyed, as it says right here.
So it's got its own field barrier, plus it's just an instant go-to field spell.
Yep, it helps get any monster out, any changeling monster out that you need.
Cool. Cool.
Yep.
All right, we'll go straight on to the next. Try and speed through a bit.
Yep. The next is the Queen's Eggs. When Chrysalis is on the field, this card can only be activated while that card's on the field. And during your standby phase, you can add one changeling monster from your deck to your hand.
I'm sorry, but that's a little bit graphic.
I know. It's like going right in there. Look.
Yeah, don't go too much into detail, for God's sake.
Yeah.
All right, we'll scoot past that.
Yeah, we'll just ignore that one. Okay, and this one can help a lot. This one is called Rising the Ranks. If there's a changeling monster on the field, this card will be equipped to it, and its name and effect is changed to Queen Chrysalis's effect.
Yeah.
So, if you need to get the Queen's Eggs out, you can just equip it to a changeling monster you already have out.
All right.
And it's useful.
Cool.
The next one is called Changeling Birth, and I have 3 of these in this deck. When a Changeling Hive is out, you can special summon one level 8 or lower Changeling monster from your hand or deck.
All right. What made you choose that artwork out of genuine curiosity?
I did come across someone from Tumblr. This is the one thing that was from Tumblr, but I found it in Google Images. The artist does a lot of Changeling artwork, and this one specifically caught my eye, and I thought this would be great if we could bring out a Changeling monster from just how it looks.
Right, yeah.
This is how I came up with the cards. I just found an image and I thought, what kind of effect would that have? It just makes it suit better.
Cool.
And the final spell card we have here is Broken Queen. When Queen Chrysalis is in the graveyard, you can special summon one changeling monster in your graveyard in your next standby phase.
Ah, so it's kind of like a Monster Reborn of the deck, really.
Yeah, but you need Queen Chrysalis in your deck in order to do that. And you could basically
Well,
bring...
it kind of makes sense as it is kind of the main card of the whole deck.
Yep, and you can bring back Chrysalis with this card.
Cool, cool.
So you could bring it back if you wanted to, or you could get another one, because I think... No, it doesn't gain any attack. That's another card.
I find it quite fascinating that you've made these cards, but yet you can't remember all their effects.
Yeah, there's just so many.
Alright, on to the traps.
Okay, the traps. The first one is called Fear the Changelings.
Love the name, by the way.
Thank
I think
you.
it's great.
Okay, so the story behind this was I could not find a effect for this one. So eventually I decided on something that could help limit the opponent so you can get more changelings out at a time.
Okay.
So the effect is, your opponent cannot attack with a monster that has a level lower than the lowest level changeling monster on your side of the field. So say if you had Changeling Drone out, they could not attack with a level 3 or lower monster. But if you have nothing but Queen Chrysalis out, they can't attack with a level 9 or lower monster.
That's nasty.
It's very nasty. But it can still screw you over because they can still destroy your monsters with card effects.
Yeah. Well, no card's brilliant, but that still buggers up a lot. It's pretty much an improved Gravity Bind and Limited Area B.
Yeah.
Just put into one.
Yep, and this is the card that I like to use a lot because if I just have Chrysalis out, then bam, it just limits the opponent so much. It's basically it's my favorite Swords of Revealing Light with infinite uses.
Right, yep.
The next trap card is called Loving Obedience.
Love and Obedience, eh?
Yeah, this is made by the same guy. This artwork is made by the same guy who did the Changeling Birth card. So the way this card works is that if you have a Changeling monster on the field, when your opponent summons a monster, it can be summoned to your side of the field instead. Of course, it can be negated, but it's still useful to use. It's almost like a whole card, but instead of getting rid of it, you can use it.
So pretty much it's a trap card that... It's a mind control, but it's just a trap version of mind control. And it's permanent, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's very good.
That's very annoying, especially if they went for something, say, Utopia or something like that.
Yeah, which is why only a Changeling monster can be on the field when it's happening. And I've had a lot of times when I couldn't summon a Changeling monster, and that has ruined me. So the next one is Inherited Love. This one is pretty good. If Changeling Queen Chrysalis is sent to the graveyard, and you activate this card... Let me read that a second.
No worries.
You can special summon one Changeling monster from your graveyard, and it gains 1,000 attack, and its effect is changed to Queen Chrysalis's effect.
So it's pretty much the substitute if you can't get the queen out.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just a good way to keep whatever you need out. I think the name changes as well. No, just its effect, so its name doesn't change. But it gets its effect, and the effect is pretty useful if you go up against the right deck.
Oh, definitely. I can see how that would be quite nasty for
Yeah.
any deck that was ready for. Right, not many left, so...
Yep, there's only 2 more. So the next one is Changeling's Wrath. This one is pretty good. When a Changeling monster on your side of the field is destroyed by battle, you can destroy one of your opponent's spells or traps.
It reminds me of Mizazuri. When an opponent's monster destroys your monster, activate it and then destroy that monster, but this just doesn't make it traps.
Yeah, this one's pretty good because if they have something that you know can limit you, then it works. Especially considering that this one gets rid of a lot of battle phases, a lot of things with battle.
Yep.
This one can help you a little bit when
It helps clear the back row to
Yeah.
make it a bit safer.
There's only 2 of them, unfortunately. I forgot to print a 3rd one, but I might make another card soon that will maybe balance this out a bit more,
Alright.
so that it gets a bit of a boost.
I would just say this ain't a full deck of just changelings. There are other cards, but we're focusing mainly today on the changeling cards.
Yeah, these are mixed with real cards as well.
Yeah.
And the final trap card that we have is called Recovering Family. If your opponent destroys more than one monster on your side of the field, sorry,
No
wow.
worries.
If a spell, trap, or monster effect that destroys more than one monster on your side of the field is activated, gain 1,000 life points for every card destroyed. I found
That would be very annoying if someone did a Judgment Dragon, paid the 1,000, nuked the field, and then your opponent just gained 1,000 for every card they just destroyed.
Yeah, I've gone up against an Umi deck before, and they use Sea Serpent to destroy the entire field.
Send the Legendary Ocean to the grave, nuke the field,
Yeah,
play theirs.
I gained 11,000 life points right on the spot.
Ouch.
And I managed, and by that time, I managed to delay the entire game enough to bring out my Changeling army and obliterate it.
Alright, well that is Zach's Changeling deck that he's personally made, and
Yep.
if any more custom decks come up, I'll let you guys have a look.
Feel free to request some, because I would love to hear more about... I'd like to hear some requests. I want to make more of these, and I only have a limited imagination. So if you want to see anything, say, from an anime to a TV show, anything, I will try to make it.
Alright.
If I consider it, if I want to.
There you go, people. We've got our own custom card maker for us
Yep.
for the show.
And they are very well printed, I have to say.
Yep, that'd be well done. Alright, and we'll call it that for today. Thank you,
Okay.
Zach.
Thank you for watching.